Hi, everyone, and welcome into our live stream here on CBS 19 Plus, our Facebook channel, and of course, our YouTube channel here at CBS 19. We thank you for joining us this evening. Just an update on what we're starting to see across parts of East Texas. It looks like some snow flurries are finally reaching the ground. Nothing too crazy, just a couple of flurries reported in the Tyler area. In fact, we've seen some here at CBS 19, maybe a little bit heavier down toward Jacksonville and Nacogdoches, where there could actually be some snow showers occurring at this time. You can comment on the Facebook page. We'd love to hear that. On the YouTube channel, we'll get back to you later on the YouTube channel. And of course, watching on CBS 19 Plus, we really appreciate you taking your time out to let us bring you up to date on what is happening. Of course, we'll walk around the radar here. You can see some heavier areas up toward Canton. A lot of what we're seeing toward Canton, which looks darker blue, believe it or not, it's falling through some really dry air right here between Emory, Canton, and Gilmer. And so as that moisture is falling through the atmosphere, it is evaporating, but some of it could finally be making it down to the surface. But this is where I need your help. If you live out in the Canton area, Emory area, and it's reaching the ground in the form of some flurries, let us know. It does look like it's a little better organized down here toward Palestine, Nacogdoches, toward Jacksonville. The returns there are just a little bit brighter, and perhaps in those areas we could be looking at maybe just a little bit of snow, now almost a snow shower, southern parts of Cherokee County and northwestern parts of Nacogdoches County. So right in that one area that I just kind of held on to here, right in here. And I'll zoom in on that so we can kind of see what we're talking about. Then that Jacksonville, southern Cherokee County area on down toward Nacogdoches right here. Probably going to be somewhere around Alto. You can see that darker blue area just to the west of Rusk toward Cushing and Nacogdoches and Wells, over toward Laneville and Elkhart. So those could be some snow showers that are reaching the ground. In fact, that's what it would look like on radar at this time. What I could do is switch over, and I'm going to look at something that we typically use to track damage when it comes to tornadoes. So that's why it says debris tracker at the top of that. But what it also does is it shows us sort of the different sizes and shapes of the precipitation. And so it's all uniformly sized, so it's likely light snow, Jacksonville to Mount Enterprise, toward Nacogdoches over toward Henderson. Well, why do I think that? Oh, I think that because it's all solid red, so we're not seeing any sleet pellets mixing in there at this time. So it's just going to be some snow coming down. Now, back toward Canton and Emory, I did hear also some reports of flurries in Kaufman. So some light snow and going closer to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Also, Angelina County looks like a little burst of perhaps some light snow over southern parts of Angelina County. We do have a crew down there keeping an eye on the roads. Right now, this wouldn't be enough to really cause any problems, but over the next couple of hours, it could be. And it looks like, all right, so Alan Casper, who is down in Lufkin in Angelina County, he's now saying he's starting to see some snowflakes, but really can't see them very well. So very light snow down in the Angelina County Lufkin area, according to our chief videographer Alan Casper. So but you have to have he said you have to have the camera lights on to be able to see them. So that's just how faint they are. So not a lot of, it's not like a burst of snow or anything of that nature. So that's certainly good. Let me know in the comments on Facebook here if you're seeing anything, if you're getting any kind of snowflakes that are coming down. We have quite a few people watching, and I appreciate you guys taking your time out and checking in with us here tonight as we bring you up to date on this, I'll call it a winter storm. It's a winter storm for Deep East Texas. There are winter weather advisories out. Smith County is not really going to be impacted too much other than some flurries up toward Gilmer and back toward Mineola. I mean, if there would be a light dusting, it would be sort of a very, very fine dusting on the grass tomorrow. I think cars on roadways will just blow it off. It's just not going to be, and as cold as it is, it's certainly not the type of moisture that just kind of sticks to the road real fast. All right, let's see. We've got Adriana saying snowflakes in Tyler, yes, and Marta saying yes, just a few. And a few, okay, a lot of folks now reporting just a few snowflakes out there. So that's good. It's good to know, good to hear, and good to get that ground truth here across the area. So that's a live radar throughout the area. I wonder if up around Mount Pleasant, if we're seeing anything reaching the ground, or back toward Dallas. Some of those darker blue areas there would also be indicative of some light snow trying to possibly reach the ground also. But let me I'll put this into motion. You'll see how this has just kind of blossomed up here. And our future Skycast sort of had this happening between 8 and 9 o'clock, we're really starting to see the moisture filling in here and really starting to blossom in terms of snow. Hemp Hill down into parts of Jasper and Newton County, south of Lufkin, back here toward Crockett. Also, it looks like a little heavier band coming in. And so that's going to continue to move up to the north and east. So I believe I want to widen stuff out here. I want to widen this out and get us a feel for, let me go the other direction. So you can go all the way down to the Gulf Coast, down toward Houston. I just have one radar on at this time, and I may have to go to a different radar source so we can kind of get a better feel for all of this as it, oh, look at that moisture back all the way back toward Austin. So we're really starting to see this moisture pitch in now, and the storm's really starting to come together. This is what we call the deformation zone, where the edge of the low pressure area is. So this will, hopefully, if we can get any kind of snow out of this, it'd be very light, but this eventually will just sort of snow itself out. It'll stretch out, but it'll stay there for the next couple of hours. So we could get a little light snow northwest of Tyler back toward Dallas, but this is going to be the area where there's most of that moisture is going to create a better chance for snowfall. All right, I'm going to move on to the next graphic and show you what we have here. This is going to be in motion. This will be a nice shot here across our area. No way to know in terms of amounts at this time. That's just too early to tell. But yeah, dustings for sure. All right. Levi wanted to know any accumulation. It depends on where you are. Let me know. Very, very light snow in more stations, says Angie. Angie, thank you very much for that report. So I'll show you a graphic that I have for accumulations here in just a second, because it does look like Palestine, Jacksonville. I think anywhere south of, let's say, Highway 84 coming out of Palestine over toward Jacksonville, up throughout parts of Rusk County over toward Panola and in Carthage. Best chance south of that for accumulation. Cold weather advisory. So all of us are in the cold weather advisory, and it's dangerous cold. Tomorrow morning, wind chill values could be around 10 degrees. Please keep that in the back of your mind. Winter weather advisories have not changed since the evening. That's still in the areas in purple. It does include Rusk County, Cherokee County, Anderson County, Panola County, and the city of Carthage, Center and Shelby County. And then you've got Nacogdoches County, and then you've got Houston, Trinity, Angelina, San Augustine, and Sabine County. And then if I widen this out, you'll see these areas in pink, the winter storm warning, where 3 to 5 inches of snow is possible, and that's going to be down along the Gulf Coast from Houston over toward New Orleans. Very, very different kind of storm for us. All right, a look outside from our CBS19 studio camera. Do not see any of the snowflakes flying there. That's just how light they are and how sporadic they are at this time. Doesn't mean that they're not coming down. It's just that they are very, very light. All right, let's walk through future skycast. This is 11 o'clock tonight. Should have a steady area of snow from Palestine to Jacksonville, Carthage, maybe as far north as Henderson, maybe all the way up into southern Smith County and Longview. And as we go through the overnight hours, the storm itself, which is moving through the Gulf of Mexico, is going to be moving farther out to sea, and it takes the moisture with it so that by tomorrow morning it's essentially over, and then we are back to sunshine. And then tomorrow afternoon there's a chance some of this would melt. So how much are we talking about? Let's take a look at the latest from our future snowfall. And I still think a dusting to an inch from Athens to Jacksonville, maybe as far north as Henderson and Carthage. More in the order of a dusting, but there could be some isolated areas if you got under an intense snow shower where you pick up an inch. More likely, the 1 to 2 inches will fall from Houston County and Trinity County through Angelina County, San Augustine, and Sabine County. Nacogdoches could be included in that. Center could just kind of sneak in, but cities such as Groveton, Lufkin, and San Augustine have a better chance to see the accumulating snowfall out of all of this. How is it in Dallas right now? In Hutchinson, Texas. I'll have to check on Dallas. I'll show you the radar. Levi says he lives near Athens, Texas, and wanted to know in terms of accumulation. Athens, maybe a dusting, but that would be the high end. And a dusting would be enough to just cover the ground. Not to say there couldn't be, some snow. You'd see it on the grass, maybe a little bit on the side of the roadways and stuff like that. Certainly not going to, has not changed. It's not going to become a huge snowstorm, but I will go back to radar here. And you can see it's just kind of blossoming. This is very what we thought was going to happen. You'll also notice that there between Tyler and Henderson, it's already kind of that little area of warm air aloft between Mount Pleasant, Canton, and Emory is now starting to stretch out, and it's kind of weakening. So that's going to be the area where the low pressure center of the storm farther south starts to pull away and separate from the storm, leaving behind that little leaf of moisture that will eventually fall apart. And I'll circle that for you if you're unfamiliar with what I'm talking about. This little, let's try it again. This little area here is just going to sit there, and it eventually will snow itself out. The rest of the storm itself, the low pressure area that we're looking at, is way down here in the Gulf. I'm going to switch to a different type of radar so that we can get a good feel for it. You can see there's rain. Now it's like rain and sleet toward Galveston. There's sleet back here towards San Antonio. All snow, though, to Houston. Austin, it's all snow up to Lufkin. It's just too cold to support any mix of precipitation like a couple weeks ago. The depth of the cold air came way farther south than it did a couple weeks ago. The temperatures, even though they made it into the 30s today, are back right near freezing tonight. Plus, the cold air goes into the atmosphere several thousand feet. A couple weeks ago, we went up to about 5,000 feet. Temperatures were above freezing, and so that's why it was all rain that time. But here in this situation, this is going to be all snow and should stay all snow. I don't see it changing over to any type of a mix of precipitation here. The next phase for it would just be for it to snow itself out. All right, Fran Reed says, sleet looks like my ash on my car. Are you getting sleet or snow, Fran? I would think that. Lindsay wants to know about Palestine and Elkhart. We've got Alto and Rusk. And like I said, I think Dallas is getting a little sleet in Tyler and Gentry. So sleet, that's interesting because, well, if that slightly little area of warm air aloft could be causing that, or the temperatures are just above freezing near Tyler at this time. So there could be the snow coming down through that final little layer is just melting enough that it's a little sleet pellet. That's a little wild card thrown in there that, if you look at all the radar, there's just, and the way the algorithm figures it out, it doesn't suggest that there would be any sleet. But if you're getting ground truth reports of some sleet, it's certainly happening. Long Branch, Texas, Ryan McKinley says it's snowing there. Thank you. Appreciate that, Ryan. Palestine and Elkhart are seeing the snow right now in southern parts of Anderson County. And by the way, you are under the winter weather advisory, and you can see these. This is why I think if you were watching us, we kept referring to these as snow showers. You can kind of see the showery nature. Look how it just looks like if they were like little rain showers, little pockets of snow. So it's like little, perhaps bursts. It's a little steadier and heavier down toward Livingston, Conroe, toward Brenham, back south toward Sealy and Schulenburg, just to the northwest of Houston. Let's see. Jake Mo says, snow in Tyler at my place by the Grove Restaurant. Thank you, Jake. Awesome report. And snow in Chapel Hill, according to Callie Joe. Thank you. And Zamari says, snow in Longview, Texas. All right, so we got snow in Longview. Let me go up and take a look at that at Longview. And we've got a little bit of snow in Longview. So it's making it to the ground in Longview. Good to know. All right, I'm going to throw this back into motion for us so you can see how it's just like little pockets of snow showers. And then it looks like there could be a little break in eastern parts of Smith County. But again, we're using Fort Worth radar, we're using Shreveport radar, so there could be some gaps in there where it's making it to the ground and the radar is shooting through a drier layer. But toward Dallas right now, it looks like there's a little brighter band back here. So perhaps some sleet. But I've got all 5 types turned on here. Oh, well, hold on. This would help if I would change the color table so we can see. So some of that bright blue area there, some of these brighter blue areas could be a couple of little sleet pellets trying to mix in. So we're getting some ground truth reports of that, so it's very possible. Callie Estep says she's in Athens and don't know where that is. I don't know where. I'm in Hartcath in Tyler at 7. No precipitation, please. Well, I got to tell you, if you're coming from Athens and you're going into Tyler tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., this should be gone. you should not have any problem on the roadway tomorrow from Athens to Tyler. That should be a non-issue. Snow in South Tyler and White House. Natasha, thank you very much. Appreciate that report. Snow and sleet in Hockley, Texas. All right, so we're getting a mix of snow and sleet in Hockley. And let's see what else we have happening here. Okay. Kim Potts, sleet in Tyler and Gentry. I guess at Gentry. Snowflakes. Yeah, a lot of reports of snowflakes. All right. But again, Lisa Jones wants to know about Shreveport. Shreveport's seeing some light snow or snow flurries at this time. Let me try to go out to one of our cameras here. And this is the camera outside the CBS19 studio and see if we can see anything. I think they're going to be really hard to see, the snowflakes, if anything. When we were outside a little bit ago, I mean, these are fine little snowflakes. Remember, the air is really cold, and so you almost have little ice crystals in the clouds that are forming these tiny little snowflakes that are dropping to the ground. The air temperature right now, and this might be why we're getting sleet, 34 degrees. So while it's too warm aloft to melt the snow, it's not too warm very close to the surface, so chances are snowflakes are falling. They're getting within to the last couple thousand feet of the surface with that temperature just above freezing, slightly melting, but not melting enough to become a raindrop, and perhaps refreezing on another layer of the atmosphere, and that's why they're more of a sleet pellet than a snowflake. 34 right now with a northeast wind at 9 miles an hour. Look how dry the air is. The dew points are at 2. Historically, anytime I've dealt with snow, this is very dry air, and it may be lending itself to why we're seeing the snowflakes fly where they are, just because the air is so dry and it's so cold aloft that we're actually able to squeeze every last bit of moisture out of the clouds and create these snowflakes. But here's just a still look at this. Just have this on pause. And let's see, Susan says flurries in Toole, Texas, light snow in Henderson, according to Crystal. Appreciate that, Crystal. Will I be making a snowman in Canton? Eduardo, no. Don't believe you will be. Won't get enough there. Jesse Jones in Palestine. Palestine, again, most of these areas that we're talking about north of, say, Nacogdoches and Henderson are looking at generally a dusting. You would have to roll up quite the dusting to be able to get that snowman. Better chance to maybe do that would be down toward Groveton, Lufkin, or San Augustine, certainly farther south. So this could move a little bit farther to the north, and that's why, some areas such as Rusk County were added into the winter weather advisory. There was just a little slight shift north with some of the snow line, but notice that it comes up to Gregg County and kind of cuts off, and then it comes up to Cherokee County, doesn't make it into Smith County. So there's a distinct line where it snows and doesn't snow, and I'll show you future skycast here as we head through the rest of the night. And even if I were to, what we call, if I just slid this up just a little bit, I'm going to move it up. I'm going to move this north just a little bit. That's a 15-mile shift. It would take a almost 50-mile shift to get it up into Tyler, so that's unlikely. 15 to 20 miles, that little bit of a shift, I think if we could even go, let's say that's like a 30-mile shift right there. So even if we ran let's say we were 30 miles. 30 miles makes a big difference in terms of accumulating snowfall. So I'll just run this back, and I'm just going to shift this. Let's say that the storm doesn't go as far south as the computer models were all indicating. And I'm not basing that on anything that I'm seeing on radar, so I don't think that there's a definite shift in the data here tonight. But let's just say for what we're seeing on the radar so far. So this is taking into account a slight little shift. You can still see by about 5 o'clock in the morning, it's still moving out of the area. So it's really tonight. There's a chance for snow. It's between now and about midnight, and that is it for East Texas. And then deep East Texas will be more in it in the overnight hours, and then eventually by tomorrow morning it is gone. All right. Will Smith County be getting snow? Larry Wayne King, what you're seeing right now is snow flurries. Very light snow flurries at Mount Enterprise from Kimberly. Thank you. Do I need to go ahead and call into work? No. I wouldn't call into work. I wouldn't cancel school unless it was down in the schools that have already called off in Nacogdoches County and Angelina County, down that way. Otherwise, you can already see back here toward this area here. Just look how it's starting to stretch out. This area is stretching out, and as it stretches out, this will fall apart. That'll snow itself out in the next hour or so. This area, this is where the feeder band of moisture is coming in, and it is right now where we're seeing just pockets of maybe, like, if there could be instability in this, it would be there. More rising motion, I think, is what we're seeing, indicative of like almost this choppy appearance. So the air is rising right in here. So if it's rising right in here, that's probably the best chance to see some accumulating snow here over the next couple of hours. Again, that's right in that winter weather advisory area. Up toward Gilmer and back toward Emory and Canton, those are just really light snow flurries. All right, so that's where we stand right now. I appreciate all your reports and checking in with me here tonight. Across all of East Texas, I would say continue to put those questions in there. I'll try to answer those. Oh, well, Jimmy Searfoss has already called. Oh, he's already at work. He can't call into work. Well, Jimmy, that's too bad. Maybe somebody can make you some hot chocolate at work or something like that. Is there a chance for accumulation in Athens, Texas? Levi, again, I don't think so. If there's anything, it's really light. Diane Bolton seeing some flurries in San Augustine. I think that's just the beginning of it. Just kind of getting underway. There. All right, so we'll take a break, and we will kind of let the snow flurries fly. If you have any pictures of the flurries, I know it's not a lot, but if you have any pictures of the flurries, you want to post those on the Facebook page, please do. If you found the video helpful, go ahead, and you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe. You can also like the video on the YouTube channel, and you can also leave a comment, or you can leave a comment on the Facebook page for sure, as we've answered several, and we've had lots of folks checking in. We appreciate. I really like when you all check in. Let me know where you are and what you're seeing. On a situation like tonight, as dry as the air was, you know, we see a lot on radar. We were on 5 and 6 p.m. news, and the snow was all over the radar, but nothing was making it to the ground. But now we're starting to get some ground truth that we're seeing at least some snow. At least it snowed this time around, though I never expected this to be a big deal, and I don't think it still will be. All right, please be careful, though. I'm not sure how everybody, sometimes on a 2/10 of an inch of snowfall, somebody catches that just right in their tire and slides off a road. Just be careful. Just don't go too fast. Even though, you know, it doesn't sound like it's a big deal, sometimes, again, on a bridge or an overpass, just that slightest little bit, it can get kind of slick. On a corner, sometimes it can get slick. So if you're out driving overnight, please just be careful. Slow down if you can wait till tomorrow morning. Just kind of hang out and enjoy the evening. All right, I'm CBS 19 Chief Meteorologist Brett Anthony. I appreciate you all hanging out with me tonight. You guys have a great night. Hope to see you back here on CBS 19 News at 10 p.m. We'll talk to you then.